Hey, my dear students, I know it's that time of the year where you are very busy tackling your competitive exams, but you forget to explore and look outside the window and see what are the options abroad. And this is the purpose of this particular video. This is just one of the videos, and we'll make it a regular series to make sure you understand and get aware of all the options that are there for you as a student from India to go abroad. Why should you even consider going abroad? I will tell you in this particular video. And what might make a student stay here, because there are many precedents which have been set by many toppers of JEE as well as NEET who got very good ranks, yet they chose an university abroad. What made them make that decision and sacrifice a seat in IIT or AIMS? I will tell you. And is it really worth for you? Is it that you have to only think about this option for postgrad? What about the graduation? Do I need a lot of money? What countries do people go to? Everything as a start to kickstart your awareness journey for studying abroad. So all of this on the number one JEE English channel of the country, which is Vedantu JEE English. Me as a teacher, it's my duty, my responsibility to make sure every kid, every student knows every possible option. If I limit your scope to a particular exam, then I feel you might regret it later on, because you might think, oh my God, this option was available for me. I could have given it a try. Maybe, who knows, I would have just got it. And maybe after watching this video, maybe something might ignite, something might, burn like a spark, and you might start thinking in a new direction. And hopefully, in years to come, you will thank me because you started looking for other options. So make sure you smash the like button down there. For your captain Shreyas, who is the physics master teacher, I've been training mentoring kids for more than 13 years, did my graduation from NIT Nagpur and research from IIT Bombay. So the top 10 destinations, depending on how many visas are processed for all the students, obviously United States of America, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, China, Germany, France, Singapore, and Ireland. These are the top 10 favorite places for most of Indians. So if you are going to one of these countries, you are going to find a lot of fellow citizens out there. Obviously, there will be strong communities to help support you, maybe financially, or maybe for housing, or maybe just as a social circle to build. All these things are very good in most of these countries. Now, in this particular video, I will tell you why students migrate abroad, what is the reason you should consider, or why you might think of staying over here, what are the different requirements, what are the documents, which country is better. And in this particular video, I'll just show you the overview of United States of America versus United Kingdom. Okay, we'll just have an overlook, and I will be making more videos for country specific or maybe regional specific or even the brand specific, so that we can explore more and more options in detail. Now, first of all, the major reason, it's very, very obvious. JEE competition is really high. Sometimes students just don't want to go through that competition, or you develop some kind of saturation, or you just want to explore some new branch which might not be so popular, or you know that you will not get it in JEE. Maybe you want to do something really remarkable in computer science, but you know the competition is so high, and maybe your chemistry is so bad or physics is bad, and you are not able to crack that examination. But you know, if you get that branch, you will do really well. So these are some of the reasons. Sometimes also, there are really good students. I've seen many students in tier 2, tier 3 colleges. They might be very good in a particular skill set or a particular kind of stream, but just because of their rank, they could not get into the tier 1 college. Also, what happens is many times students think that, I have better opportunities abroad, or maybe, I have some of my friends or relatives who are there, so maybe I will have a support system if I go to this particular country. Or maybe you're financially that well that your family can actually support you even if you do not get scholarship. So these are some of the reasons why students generally think of migrating abroad. Obviously, you get to experience the different kind of lifestyle. You have different places to roam around and different cultures to explore, new people to meet, and so many other culturally social benefits that you get when you study abroad. All right, so getting yourself exposed in an international way and learning and working in a new lifestyle, in a very refined lifestyle at an early age, has obvious benefits. And that is what many people might seek for. If you are one of them, then definitely studying abroad could be considered as an option for you. Also, you get a very good exposure because many of the great companies, be it Apple, Google, Amazon, right, or even the car manufacturers, or even the electronics industries, right, their headquarters, the main offices are situated in many of the countries abroad, right? So you get a very good exposure. Sometimes many of these companies employ people from different backgrounds, different countries. So you get to meet a lot of people, share your thoughts. Yeah, why not? Definitely. And you also have better career opportunities. Imagine you are in the heart of Silicon Valley. If not for this job, you can go to this company. If not for this company, you can go to the other company. So you have a lot of options to explore when all the tech or all the similar kind of industries are situated in a small region. Obviously, you can build a lot of contacts, build uh, good networks with decision makers, scientists, CEOs, founders, or even entrepreneurs, or even people who are going to invest money in your startup idea. So this kind of exposure, obviously it's there in India too, but if you want to go at an international scale, people start looking for different countries where the tech is, where the finance industries, or where the automobile industries, or where the electronics industries, or where the real estate market is, depending on whatever is your liking. Okay, so definitely it has a lot of advantages. And yeah, students also like to travel the world. I want to explore new places, I want to meet new people, I want to go to this country because I like this culture, I like this heritage, I want to see and experience that lifestyle. So that could be also one of the reasons, and there is nothing wrong in it. So if you are a student who probably thinks that I cannot get through uh, without the scholarship, or maybe I think I can crack through JEE, or I'm okay with a private college, I will think about post graduation, then I think you should consider staying in India. Also, when you go abroad, there are a lot of things that you need to consider. Apart from the financial aspects, you should be also be ready for the cultural shocks that you might get. Or sometimes you might have to worry about other things which you might not necessarily worry in India. Like you download an app, you can get your groceries, or you can book your cab rides, and so many other luxuries which we consider it very normal, might be very expensive abroad, especially as a student. Okay, and you have to become very, very independent over there. At home back in India, you join a hostel, even if you're staying away, and you get good food, and everything is taken care of, be it the clothes, be it the utensils, be it the cooking. So many things are just taken care for you by either your parents or the hostel or the PG that you're staying in. But here you have to be very independent, because obviously labor is very expensive in most of the countries abroad. So most of the things you have to be self-reliant. Okay, sometimes even the weather can be a spoil sport in certain countries. In India, being a tropical country, we are blessed that way to not experience very extreme weathers. So there are certain places, not all the countries, not all the places, they might have extreme cold, extreme heat, or maybe it is extremely stormy most of the time. So you need to consider these aspects as well. And trust me, when you have not experienced those extreme weathers, it's hard to tell you how bad it can get when there is extreme snowfall, or it's too chill, or if it is too stormy most of the times. It really might put you off. You might be in a bad mood because of that. So you need to consider all these things when you are planning to study abroad. If you are comfortable with your life here, stay here, nothing wrong. It's not like you cannot earn money in India. Definitely you can earn money, good amount of money. You can still do most of the things, but it's just about opportunities and how you want to take it personally. All right. So at the end of the day, it's a personal choice. Now, what are the prerequisites? Of course, academic eligibility is that you will have to have a certain age. You will have to complete the high school, the undergraduate program, which we call it as the 11th and the 12th standard. Definitely. You need to prove in many of the countries that you will be able to converse with the general public out there in a decent level, with a decent level of proficiency in their native language. Some of the European countries might demand for their native language, like German or French or Italy, might demand Italian. So most of the countries have such requirements, but in the most of the Western world, like US, UK, etc., it's the English proficiency which is demanded, and you need to speak at a certain level, yes, of proficiency. So exams like IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, Duolingo, this might depend from college to college or country to country. These tests will check how good you are in reading, talking, writing. All these skills are going to be checked. So without passing that, you are not allowed in these countries, even for studying. Then there is entrance exam. Apart from checking your language, how good you are in your analytical skills, mathematical skills, that can be checked in your exams like SAT, ACT for undergraduate. Then GRE, GMAT are for post graduation. Since you are 11th and 12th standard students, most of the universities will ask you for your SAT scores or your ACT scores. Again, it depends from college to college and country to country. Okay, now you might be thinking, uh, is it not like a one exam for one country and I just give that exam and go through? No, it's not that simple. It's not like JEE. Well, you have to give the language test. You have to give the, uh, what do you say, the entrance exam. And then you have to apply for different universities separately. It's not like there is a common counseling process. Plus, the requirements for every university, every country can be different. That is why it is a very, very tiring process. Understand that. Researching, finding the good universities, seeing what the requirements are, and accordingly match up to their expectations. It's a very lengthy process. But if you plan it smartly, you can do it, and students do it, and that's how they are able to make it happen. Okay. You will need obviously your passport. If you don't have one, please get it done. Your transcripts. Now, transcripts are basically like report cards. These are in a slightly different format. You need to get those transcripts from your schools or colleges saying that you got this much percentage, and it's a detailed report card of how you have performed in your 10th or 12th standard. SOP is your statement of purpose. So you need to send in a essay saying why you want this college, this country, this course. What is it that is going to benefit you, and how are you going to be beneficial for that course? So imagine writing this for that particular course, for that college, and it could be different for different colleges, different country. You can't just copy paste it for all the colleges. It has to be very specific, depending on the region, depending on the professors, what kind of research they are doing. You need to go through their website and accordingly modify and tweak all your SOPs, which is your statement of purpose. What is the purpose that you are why you're applying over there? LOR, letter of recommendations. Some universities require 2 or 3 recommended letters, meaning from your teacher or the person whom you have got trained, or whom probably you have done some internship or some volunteering program, anything like that. So if you have worked under someone or have been mentored by someone, that particular guide or mentor has to write a letter of recommendation saying this kid is really smart, or this kid deserves this particular college, this particular course, he will do well, so on and so forth. So that is also required. So you better have a good rapport. Your resume also could be required, saying what are the different activities that you have done in your high school, in your college, what are the different activities, extracurricular, what are your talents, your skill sets. All these things you will have to put it up in your resume. So like you can see, it is a tiring process, definitely. Deadlines are also different. It's not a common deadline. Yeah. So you need to check the university website. Then there is visa. Passport is not visa. Everybody can get a passport, but visa is the difficult part, where you need to visit the office of the consulate of that particular country. Then you have a visa interview where the officer will interview you and check whether you fit into that particular country as a student. Is everything fine? Police records, nothing should be there. So a lot of things are there. They basically do a kind of a background check, and you should basically pass that interview. Usually students pass it, but for countries like US, UK, and sometimes even in Canada now these days, it could be a little bit challenge. Okay. Then you need to also have good amount of financial planning. Obviously, the fees are very high. It is not very low. Some of the European countries have low tuition fees. I'll make a detailed video on that. Living expense, obviously, even if you have to buy a bottle of water, specifically, say for example, in Europe, it might cost you easily 400 to 500 rupees. Just imagine that. So you can think how the living expenses are. So if you take a ride, by the way, you won't get autos over there. If you take a cab ride, then obviously it will be anywhere bare minimum like 4 5,000 rupees, and it can go as high as 20,000 to 30,000 rupees for a cab ride from one place to another. So you need to plan all these things. Obviously, there are scholarship options, which I will talk about in a bit, and you need to show some amount of account balance in your bank, in your father's or mother's bank account. Some number of lakhs of rupees should be there. Only then they will allow you to enter the country, because if something goes wrong, you should be able to survive, and you should be able to come back to the country. So they have these requirements most of the times. Then, talking about which country to choose, there are a lot of factors in choosing the right country. That's how you should actually select your college. Which country I want to go to. But for some students, it is like, I want to go to this college, irrespective of the country, whether the weather is bad or whether the language is a problem, I will take care of it. Sometimes you really want a particular course in a particular college, then this slide is not for you. So usually what students want is a particular country, and you will check in general what kind of quality of education is there, what kind of scholarships you get, what kind of exposure you get, how many international students come over there, what kind of what kind of placements happen, or what kind of job opportunities are there, research opportunities, what is the fees in general, what is the living expense like. Some countries are cheap to stay, some countries might be very difficult. What's the weather like? Yes, all these things are going to matter. And sometimes, obviously, maybe you are doing a specialization, maybe say, for example, aeronautics, but maybe even if you do aeronautical engineering in that country, there are no job opportunities there. There is nothing happening on aeronautics. So you need to go to the heart of, where the aero hubs are, where the aeroplanes are going to be designed, manufactured. If you study there, obviously, chances of getting into that particular industry is higher. Let's talk about USA particularly. Obviously, the top universities, very, very tough to get in. This is like IIT Bombay, IIT Chennai, or IIT Kanpur. Yeah. So Harvard, MIT, Stanford, UCLA, these are the top universities. So if you are the brightest of the brightest, please apply. Else, any of the top 50, top 70, Ivy League, that's what they call it. The Ivy League, like the IITs of the US, that's where you should be applying. And most of the popular courses are related to STEM, as in like the technological scientific courses, MBA, medicine, law, finance. But most of the engineering students will be going towards the STEM side, and some of the NEET students might be going to the medicine side. MBA and finance and law, that is very special if you have that interest, and that is usually for post grad, specifically finance MBA. Then if you talk about the universities and where is it located and what are the popular courses, I've just put up a list for all of you, like Harvard, Massachusetts, then Stanford, California, MIT, Yale, Princeton, Columbia, University of Chicago, University of Pennsylvania. All these are the top universities, and what are the popular branches over here. I just put it. Obviously, we can make a detailed video on that. Then most of the colleges in US will require the SAT or the ACT scores, apart from the TOEFL or IELTS. It might be a special requirement at times, but you are not going to apply for post graduation, that is after your BTech. So that's where you do GRE and GMAT. Then uh, generally IELTS score will be in the range of 6.5 to 7.5 minimum requirements. TOEFL score might be in the range of 80 to 100. Duolingo is also sometimes considered in some universities. It depends from university to university. You need to check each page and what is the bare minimum requirement and what is the general requirement for students who generally get in. Yeah. Then there are many scholarship options like, Fulbright, or sometimes some scholarships are specifically for a particular sect or for a particular type of students, let's say for girls. Then you might also have some university funding. Sometimes the professor who is going to teach you might be taking up a project and you might want to do a research assistantship or teaching assistantship, something like that. So you can look out for all the options on the university website and also do an inquiry in that particular area of your college. Then you can also opt for things like part-time jobs. Yeah, definitely many students undertake part-time jobs, so you can check for that. You cannot obviously do proper full-time jobs because you need to complete your graduation. Only then you can get H1B visa, which requires your company, your employer, to sponsor it. So unless you graduate, you will not get it, but you can check for OPT. Yeah, that's for something like part-time, you can say. Okay, then talking about UK, you have the top universities like Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, and many of the courses are like business, engineering, law, medicine related, all the popular streams, of course. University of Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial College of London, London School of Economics, University College of London, all these are the top colleges in UK. Okay, and these are their popular undergraduate programs. Now, in general, you will require the UCS application. Some courses might require some special entrance test. If it is, you need to give that entrance test. Okay, so that is for your undergraduate programs. If you talk about the language, again, IELTS, TOEFL, and PT. This is by Pearson. One of these might be required, not all of three, and each exam has their separate dates, separate syllabus, or separate pattern. Everything is different, so you might have to give one or more of these. Okay, scholarship wise, again, you have multiple options, and you can also check for university specific scholarship options, which might give you some relief financially. Then after your college, you might want to consider working as a part-time, or maybe taking up some kind of research or teaching activity at your university. Some students also end up using their skills, like say for example, you are good at playing the guitar. You just start teaching how to play the guitar to your local neighborhood, earn some extra cash, and that's how you are able to sustain your living. So many students do that, by the way. Okay, otherwise you will need a skilled worker visa, which you can only get after graduating. You will not get any other kind of employment. You will have to go for part-time or some kind of assistantship. If you do a comparison between US and UK, well, in UK the degree gets completed earlier as compared to US. Tuition fees are expressed in dollars or pounds, so you have to convert in Indian rupees. At the time of watching the video, it could be different. That's why I put it up in dollars and pounds. Okay, so roughly it will be somewhere between 85 to 90 rupees is $1, and this will be close to around 100 rupees or more for a pound. So that's the conversion factor. Okay, living costs I have mentioned. Scholarships are very limited in UK, but in US, more scholarships are there. And most of the students who study in UK go for the finance, business, and law purpose. But if you are going to US, generally you are a techie guy, you want to research or you want to do something in artificial intelligence or even business. Okay, so the advantage of UK is you get to experience the European lifestyle. In US, obviously, it is just one country. It's not a continent. So good campuses, lot of space, lot of freedom, and big landscapes again. So a very different culture as compared to Europe. So this is Europe, this is US, two different cultures depending on whatever you want to experience. So you can choose whatever is good for you. Obviously, you need to see some videos, you need to see first-hand experience of many students, their interviews, to see whether this is the right fit for me. Because after going there, you should not feel, oh, I'm not liking this country so much. Yeah, it's good and all, it's posh, it's clean, it's great, but maybe this is not the kind of thing that I would want. Okay, so yeah, the culture, the people also matter a lot. So please have a check on that as well. So this was this quick video for all of you to create this awareness for studying abroad. Obviously, this was a very general video. If you want more information on a particular exam, on a particular country, or a particular stream, or the low cost options, or whatever, if you're ready to pay money, then sir, just tell me the options. I'm ready to spend. I want to go abroad. So, whatever it is, please let me know in the comments. Our team is there, and we also have, yes, a team specifically who is going to mentor students to go and study abroad and help you with the application processes, the visa, and all the other forms, because it takes a lot of stress to fill all these forms, especially during the exam time. So, whatever your need is, please let me know in the comments. Okay. Have a great time. Please share this video and smash that like button. Bye bye. Take care.